Assassin's Creed Mirage narrative director says middle-aged female character was created, quote, because I think that we need more women of a certain age in mainstream media. Yes, indeed, video games are following what we've seen in Hollywood and TV, making sure that we have checkmarked casting and character creation that makes absolutely no sense when you are trying to immerse yourself in a story. But let's get into this here. Assassin's Creed Mirage narrative director Sarah Beaulieu, I'm not sure how I'm pronouncing that right, recently explained why she chose to introduce a new middle-aged female mentor for Basim, who is the main character in Assassin's Creed Mirage. She made these comments speaking with Games Radar about the upcoming game and why she chose to introduce a new middle-aged assassin mentor for Basim named Roshan. She said very early on when we knew that we were going to work with Basim, with creative director Stefan Beaulieu, we agreed that we needed a mentor because he's going to become an assassin. Obviously, we need a mentor. What I wanted was a woman mentor, but I also wanted someone who was not too young. I wanted someone in their 50s. That was very important because of their experience, but also because I think that we need more women of a certain age in mainstream media, she revealed. So there you have it. This has nothing to do really with the story perspective. It's all about Beaulieu's personal ideology and wanting to ensure that people see some 50-year-old woman being represented in the Assassin's Creed franchise, regardless of how absolutely ridiculous that sounds. A 50-year-old woman like leaping across the streets of Baghdad just seems just a little bit ridiculous. There's a reason why we hadn't seen that before, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But nevertheless, Beaulieu detailed how they built the character around the Expanse's Shore Agadashalu, despite not having hired her to voice the character yet. So they literally did not have this person hired, but they were already crafting the character around her. Again, giving you an idea, a peek behind the curtain on how this is all made, how this is, they don't actually cast the right person, like the best person for the job. They've already done the casting before they've even done like the hiring process, right? Before going through that kind of, what you would expect might be the meritocracy process. We agreed on that very early on, and someone on the team brought up the name of Shore Agadashalu for the role. She has this very specific voice that everybody loves, and it helped a lot because even though at that point we didn't know if she was okay with doing it or not, with writing the dialogues, it really helps. Hearing the voices in your head helps to build a character around this charisma that Shore has. Then we actually got a ton of like information from Agadashalu herself about the role, basically confirming that this role is all about an allegory for modern day politics. She said, when the story appeals to us, we want to tell the story. And when this one came around, I just thought, wow, what an amazing woman she is. She's representative of the ethnicities, cultures, and diversity back in 9th century Baghdad at its golden age. What a great example for women today, especially in the other half of the world, who wants to realize that I too can be strong. I too can stand for justice for all. So clearly trying to promote Western feminism to people outside of the West. That's what I'm taking from that. You'll have to let me know what you think of that. But nevertheless, she goes on and says, when this role came, I knew I would love to play this role, to lend my voice to this strong woman who's struggling so hard to make her society a better society to live in, to get rid of the bad people, the rotten people, dictators who are using and abusing power. Assassin's Creed Mirage can read very well for today's world. For certain places and societies in the other half of the world, it can speak for them as well. It's still happening right now in this world. What if we had some people like Roshan and the Hidden Ones to come back from the 9th century and take care of these bad people who are using and abusing others? So now she's just absolutely kind of going crazy here, insinuating like creating a mass revolution, mass violence, creating societal upheaval in our world right now, right? And like using this as an example to foment revolution, which is just absolutely insane when you read this. But she goes on and says she's representative of all these millions of women around the world, around the globe nowadays, who are standing for justice or standing for their basic rights or standing for taking care of their people and making the world a better place to live in. This story becomes even more fascinating when you think about what's happening in the world, about how many thousands, millions of women in Afghanistan, in Iran, in Pakistan, in Africa, elsewhere are fighting for their rights right now. When you play the game, it doesn't feel like you're playing an ancient game about Baghdad, no matter how elaborate or beautiful the animations are. She then reiterated, "This is Baghdad at its golden time, and Ubisoft has done a fantastic job at bringing it into the picture, but it speaks for today as well. When I was voicing Roshan, I thought, I wish I could do this for my own people, for girls who are dying to bring freedom to their countries, to gain their basic rights, such as getting educated or having a choice to wear whatever they like to wear or not. But I can't find anything else right at this moment that is more relative today than this game. This game is far more relative to what is going on in the world right now as we're speaking than other movies or series that I have done." So clearly, it is going to be a game that is going to probably have some significant lectures about feminism in it. And specifically, it looks like they're going to be trying to preach this to players outside of the West and trying to push that kind of feminism on them. I'm sick of all of this stuff. Like, this is why I don't play any of these Assassin's Creed games. The franchise pretty much died after the third one, anyways, when they killed off Desmond, and they decided to move away from. I don't know. It pretty much the third one was so bad. I really like the fourth one, so I liked four. The pirate one kind of redeemed it, but the third one kind of killed the overarching story with Desmond, and then you had the fourth one, and then I feel like that was the peak, and you weren't going to get any better, and I don't think it really has. I did play a little bit of Odyssey, and it just felt like a Skyrim game with an Assassin's Creed skin, and it just didn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game, and it had kind of lost that stealth rogue aspect from it. You just kind of felt like you were playing a brawler, like an RPG, rather than what we had become accustomed to with Assassin's Creed. But if Assassin's Creed is something that's up your alley, the game, as has been clearly said in Baghdad, puts players in the boots of Basim, who is described by Ubisoft as a, quote, cunning street thief with nightmarish vision seeking answers and justice. Ubisoft is also marketing the game as a callback to the original Assassin's Creed, describing it as, quote, a tribute to the original and explaining experience, a modern take on the features and gameplay that have defined a franchise for 15 years. Journey to Alamut, the legendary home of the assassins who laid the foundations of the Creed, in this heartfelt homage to the game that started it all. It is expected to arrive on PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, and PC on October 13th. I will not be purchasing this game, and this interview made it abundantly clear that this game is not something I would be interested in, as it is going to be clearly have some significant lectures in it.
Subscribe for more.